from the very first day I started running this race back in January, the third week of January, I started walking door to door. My goal has been to run this race the way I intend to represent the district. And that's what I've said going door to door. That's what I've said in forums. With everything we've done, we have run the most grassroots campaign I think Boone County has ever seen. I've walked door to door to thousands of doors. I've walked the entire district almost twice now. We've held public forums. We've done mailings that have let people send back in their thoughts on various issues. We've found various other ways, a wide range of methods for gaining information from the voters. Because if I want to represent the voters, how can I do that if I don't do my best to understand what they're thinking and to help provide exposure to me? How can I be their representative if I don't get to know them? In my radio spots, we provide my cell phone. I guarantee I'm the only candidate in the state who's done that. I mean, my phone was just ringing as I'm sitting here, and very possibly it's somebody who's called in from one of those radio ads. I guarantee you that I'm the most easily accessible candidate anybody's ever seen around here. And that's going to be a real representation of how I represent.
You're not going to change your cell phone number?
No, I will not. I will not change the cell phone number.
Okay. You mentioned the prescription drug plan, those kind of things. That would be one of the first things you said you would do. Mm-hmm. Anything else that kind of on your to-do list that you would want to take care of?
Oh, sure. I've got a long list. As I've said, I'm the only candidate in this race who's put forth a pretty comprehensive list of specific policy proposals. We put forward, I think it's 18 specific policy proposals that people are welcome to argue with me about. I'll give you another example that in some ways is modeled after some of the things that I've seen here at the university. What I'd like to see is the state of Missouri appoint a cabinet level reporting directly to the governor, director of sustainability, somebody whose job it is to look for ways in the state to save money through green environmental activities. One of the things that led me to this idea was looking at the University of Missouri, which through its use of power and the power plant saves over $2.2 million every year just through some efficiencies that they gained a handful of years ago. Just a decision that they made. And so they made a decision that was better for the environment by managing energy more wisely and saves $2.2 million on average a year. So that's an example. If we've got somebody whose entire job is to find green ways to save money, then we're saving money, we're using our resources more intelligently, and we can benefit the entire state and every taxpayer.
Okay. Then I guess just one last thing.
Sure.
Part of working within the General Assembly is compromise, working towards a consensus. What skills do you think you bring to that?
Sure. Well, I've spent my career working with a combination of business folks and politicians. And so I've learned very much about the time to stand your ground and to fight the fight and to fall on the sword, and the time to make a deal. And you have to understand, they're your convictions and they're your principles, and you don't compromise those. And those are where you don't compromise. But there are lots of places where we can make compromise to come together and create a better situation really for everybody. And I've got a long history of doing that, both in politics and in business. Because let me tell you what, if you can't make a deal in business that in some way benefits everybody and moves us forward, then you aren't going to be successful.
Okay. That's all the questions I have. Do you want to add anything? Anything I'm leaving out?
Sure. Running this race, I've tried to set the stage for what I consider a very different paradigm of legislative leadership. Being an excellent legislator isn't just about giving speeches. It's not just about casting the right votes. It's not just about rounding up other legislators to support your view. A truly excellent legislator in 2008 needs to get out there, needs to organize people, needs to organize voters. A truly excellent legislator is going to be a grassroots organizer as much as a speech giver there at the House. That's the kind of leadership that I want to bring, an entirely new, different, and I would argue better view of what legislative leadership means.
I should have asked this earlier, but when you have gone out and done that and walked through the district, gone door to door, what kind of response have you gotten? Are people surprised at your approach?
We get all kinds of reactions going door to door. I've had everything from, yeah, I'm sick of politics, go away, to the other day I was welcomed in by a family of 4 with 2 sons, one who is 18 and the other is 19. They're going to be voting for the very first time, and they are so excited about voting. And literally the family, the father, the mother, the 2 sons were all gathered around me in their living room, and they're so excited about being a part of the process and having an opportunity to make a change. And that's what I see to varying degrees more than anything else, is that people sense that we have an opportunity in this 2008 election, and they want to take advantage of it. They want to make the world a better place.
That's incredible. Good.
Yeah, it was actually kind of, it was really interesting. I don't want to go into all of it. Well, I could go, but it was really, this family, and you probably want to do this because it's kind of self-aggrandizing, but this family was so excited specifically about voting for me. And I honestly don't have any idea why. Because they've got my sign in their yard, but I'd never met them before, and one of my walkers who had gone to the house before I did, and she'd come back and she'd said, Sean, this family, she'd met them, and they're so excited about voting for you. And so like 2 months later, I went myself, and they were all there again, and they were just so excited about, and boys, come over here. This is Sean Spence that we're all going to vote for. And it was really, it was like bringing tears to my eyes. I mean, it was kind of amazing.
It's
Yeah.
someone you've not even met. Yeah.
No, yeah, never met him before, and I still don't know exactly why. But no matter what happens in this election, I've inspired those 4 people.